Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bad Pitch Energy. How are you, Robyn?
I'm good. How are you doing, Thomas?
I am doing wonderful. It is April.
It's sunny again.
It's sunny again. It's warming up. The humidity is ramped up both outside and inside my apartment, so we're going to work on that. But it's April baseball. It is not for the weak in any way, shape, or form. And for the first time in this very young baseball season, I actually checked out of baseball yesterday because the Astros and the Mets have just been doing a number on my mood and my usual joyful and infectious personality, as you know, Robyn. Yeah. And I needed a break.
Yep. I noticed because he stopped texting me yesterday. I was watching that Astro Seattle game and I'm like texting you because I'm like panicking. I'm like, also not, okay, I can't say I was panicking. It's just more of like, well, fuck my chungus sort of situation. And I'm like getting no response. It's just wall of text. And then I get a, sorry.
I think I woke up to like 21 messages from you.
Oh.
And Lord. Usually when Dana does that, I just reply, I'm not reading all that. And it pisses her off. Granted, I did read all of it. And I was just like, wow, this team sucks.
Yeah.
Or maybe, let me walk that back. They are not performing to their expectations right now. And it shows. And we'll get more into that later on. But let's talk about just like life in springtime.
Yeah.
You know, you're in school right now.
I do.
Yeah, you've been in school since I've known you, I feel like.
So I did my master's. I think around the first time we met. I started my master's. You did your master's. You did your second master's. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and get a PhD.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Casual PhD.
Casual. I mean, okay. So
you're making it look easy.
I am running on like 2 hours of sleep a night at this point, truthfully. Part of that is because I do have some insomnia that I really struggle with.
Yeah.
But others is just I have homework due and I kind of procrastinate just a little, just because I'm so tired from
work. Yes, because you're working full time.
I do work.
Yeah. Well, then this drink of the week is very well earned, Robyn. What is our drink of the week this week? This is a Robyn favorite. Since I've known you.
I will say, so this was actually the first bar drink I had when I turned 21 and went to a bar legally for the first time. And this is what I ordered. I'm like, oh, it's kind of sour, it's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's good. Nice like nuttiness from the almond of it all. And yeah, since in our almost 8 years of friendship, which is wild to think about, when I've seen your alter ego, Viv, come out, it's been after a couple of these bad boys.
This is what brings Robyn back. Because I'm like lit off of those like margs, right?
Yeah.
Then for some reason I have an amaretto sour and like
you're sober Sally.
Sober Sally.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
Nobody sobers up faster than you. It is a remarkable thing.
I have blacked out a couple of times, and you were
you have, and yes,
one of them.
Oh yeah, I sure was, and then the long term effects of it, but yes.
But no, but otherwise, I feel like I sober up before everyone else does, and we do have one of those night outs.
I feel like you sober up just as I'm starting to feel my drinks. Which is kind of insane. Yeah. I remember like on New Year's Eve, as I was starting to feel it right around midnight, and I think that was the most inebriated you've ever seen me, probably.
I think so too.
But you were already like ready to go, taking care of everybody. Like it was insane.
Part of that was New Year's was also, we were at a party, but I'm also like, most of my younger sisters at this party, and I was also kind of the DD.
Yeah, you were taking care of everybody.
So I kind of had to go into big sister mode, especially after one of them, after an argument over gin and tonic, things yelled at Kirby Ice.
I love it.
She had a little
I love it.
Situation.
She's a lot of fun. She's great.
So she's
yes, she does.
Very busy being
yes, she's busy being important at work as well. But speaking of being important or not important, I have a very important update for folks who are both in our fantasy league and keeping track of how we're doing. And I sit here every week and I say, I'm in last place. I'm in 13th out of 13th place. This time next week, I'll at least be in 12th. I am here to tell you I'm still in 13th place by a pretty good clip because my pitchers just don't know how to not give up 5 to 9 earned runs a game.
Well, Tom, I have fallen back down to 10th. So
I'd love to be there.
I'm saying I'm like basically right above you on the tier because my pitchers have also all keep imploding. I am unfortunate enough to be loyal to my Astros house, both Burrows and Amai for all 3 games that they pitched.
Yeah.
And it's just implosion after implosion. And I'm sitting here wondering if if I switch out these pitchers, does that mean I'm giving up on my Astros? So I feel like I'm like struggling between my head and my heart right now. But then both you and I, we were looking at the pitchers to stream today. Oh,
Awful.
There's just no. I think we're just stuck.
We're stuck.
I think we're just stuck.
We are stuck, and the worst part is this is we decided to make it a dynasty league, so now I'm stuck with these losers forever.
So we like give up on this. So, like, is it too early to just say, can I just give up and just sell my entire team? Just sell it to the highest bidder for the rest of the league?
I mean, I might take you up on that because I can't handle being in last place. Especially when, here's what I don't understand. There's at least one person in our league. I think there's at least 2 people in our league who will be the first to admit they're not even trying. They're just letting the team coast, not making moves, not analyzing. I'm out here
pitching that day.
And I'm out here stressing, plotting, and every button I click is like Trump with the nuclear codes. It is just boop, 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 boop. And who knows when it's going to explode. And I feel like all I'm doing though is like I'm right on the cusp of absolutely imploding my team. And I think right now, as of we're recording on a Saturday this week.
Yep, I'm still the negatives.
I'm in the positives by the grace of God by a random relief pitcher from the Kansas City Royals. But like, man, I'm in bad shape. So this amaretto sour after a week of watching really shitty baseball, both for the teams that we root for and also the team that we built. It's awful. But shout out to one of our listeners and my friend Courtney, who, was in last place all of last year, really dug in, did some good research on her team, and it has been making moves. Every time I see that notification, I was like, man. And she's been in one of the top positions in our league since the start. So shout out to her. Shout out to Zoe, your sister, who's doing great. Sean, one of our listeners, is really keeping up with it. And so, yeah, it's been a very competitive league so far. To go from being an 8-team league to a 13-team league is definitely a jump in terms of the depth that you have. Like, for example, I had a player injured and I was like, last year I'd be able to fill them with another star player in what was not a very deep league. This year I'm like sitting here, man, who do I want? I ended up doing like adding Trevor Story very reluctantly, but I'm
sitting here going, ooh, I remember Zoe dropping Trevor Story.
And there was a reason for that. So I mean, what do they say? One man's trash is another man's treasure. And Trevor, you better be treasure, okay? Because I need help. In more ways than one.
So something else that we've been wanting to do now is have a section just for listener questions. One of my friends, Jamal,
shout out Jamal,
who listens.
Yes.
And shout out his friend Adrian, who also listens.
Yes.
Was asking if he's able to write in a question for us.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Since
like an MLM.
Oh, we have history with that. But we're not. That's a sidebar we're not going to today. But we already had this sidebar discussion.
We did at dinner.
But he had a question
Mhm.
that was like his other baseball friends
Yeah.
seemed to know how to answer. So we're like, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, and it was a great question.
And it was a great question. So just to set up what the question is, this is in regards to a game that happened last weekend on Saturday, April 4th. It was Toronto Blue Jays at the Chicago White Sox.
Mhm.
It was the bottom of the 8th. Braden Fisher of the Toronto Blue Jays was pitching, and I think the game was at that point 3-4 with White Sox having the lead. Colston Montgomery was at bat. Miguel Vargas was on second. Austin Hayes was on first. The question was, why was the runner on first taking so much of the leadoff on first? He's like, I've never seen someone lead off so much. So if you would look at the video, normally, I think when you have a situation with a runner on first, your first base man is usually right on them.
Yep.
In case they try to steal, they can do like a pickoff, things like that.
Yep.
However, Vladdy was not positioned there. He was more of in between second and first, kind of further back. And if you would see the rest of the field, I think it would be around the same where they're trying to spread out. So my best guess for why that happens is Blue Jays was trying to turn a double play to end the inning. And so Vladdy was there instead to try to turn it instead of trying to pick off the guy at first if they're going to steal. Because there was also someone on second, so it's not like they could actually steal.
Correct. Yeah, unless it was a double steal, which it was not going to be. But yeah, I think that based on the context of the game, I mean, and he was great. He like sent the current score, how many outs there were. Like it was very helpful. And so in that case, they are angling for the double play at that point. Even if that means a runner is advancing to third. Number one, if there's one out, they wouldn't advance to third, actually. As I'm saying that, I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. So they're playing for the double play. In the event that they're not able to turn a double play, then it kind of does come back to bite you because you do have somebody on third. Like, say you only get the one out. You probably have somebody on first and somebody on third. But at least there's probably more than a 50-50 chance at that point that they're going to be able to turn a double play if it's hit down the middle there. And so it does make sense, especially since MLB went, and as part of the rules changes a few years ago, they banned the shift, which is what we always saw. So this is like a way to be more strategic within the spirit of the rules. And so great question, though, because it looks unusual. You're like, wait.
They were like halfway in between at that point almost. So it was, so White Sox realizing that was probably trying to prevent a double play from happening to make sure that their guy on first got to second before the ball did. So they could at least minimize it to one out versus the two if it was a ground out. And then also, I don't think it was applicable in this case, but you also only get 2 attempts to pick someone off at first. So usually after the second attempt has occurred, the guy who's on first doesn't care anymore because they cannot pick it off anymore.
Yeah. Great question. And it's one of those things like, unless you are literally you have either studied the rule book or are watching 162 games a year, you really, it's one of those questions where like a fan is, hey, that's an interesting like thing that's happening. Why is it happening? So keep those questions coming. Also keep any questions coming. If you want an update on Robyn's cats with tapeworm, please email badpitchenergy@gmail.com. You can also message us on Twitter @badpitchenergy, Instagram.
If you know us, you're always welcome to text us.
Call, text.
If you have a question.
Yes.
I know we do sometimes get into the weeds of like baseball terms.
Yes.
If we talk about something or say a term that you just don't understand and you want some more clarification on what that means. Send us that question. We'd be happy to.
Agreed.
Help out and explain why we love baseball so much. And
Well, speaking of why we love baseball, Robyn, you are very influential because back on this podcast in over the winter, in about January, February, you were talking about there needs to be more fights in baseball. We need to shove more in baseball. And word got out to the league. Maybe we have some new listeners who are major league players. Said, you know what? Let's do right by her. Because this was the week of fights in baseball.
This was the week of drama, and I am living. So Tom and I, we've said before, we usually outline the week the week's episode, like 5 minutes before we start recording.
Yep.
I started outlining this week's episode's outline that we follow on Monday.
Yeah.
Because Monday had a fight, Tuesday had a fight, and then the rest of the week was just drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's
dig into the drama.
Because I live for this shit. All right. So Monday, it was Brewers versus Red Sox. Brewers at Red Sox.
Yeah.
And this is a fun situation because Wilson Contreras plays first base for the Boston Red Sox, while his brother William Contreras is catcher for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras got hit by pitch by Brandon Woodruff and took offense to it, and then chirped/threatened, whatever you want to call it, the Brewers post-game, saying, they always say I'm not trying to hit you, but it gets old fast. So next time if they hit me again, I'm taking one of them out. And then Christian Yelich on the Milwaukee Brewers responded with a little, like, we've seen this skit for the past 10 years. This is nothing new. Like,
was he oiled up when he said that or not? Did you see this?
Sweaty.
Did you see this? No. Okay, but in the picture, which is professionally done, that man was slathered in. I don't want to say that he was like at a Diddy party, but that man was lathered up.
Why was he so shiny?
Anyway, sidebar. Continue.
So, different angles of this situation that he was talking about shows that I don't think he actually was hit. This historically, Wilson Contreras is someone who his batter stance is he crowds the plate.
Yes.
And he sometimes leans into it to try to force that hit by pitch so he can get automatically walked to first.
Yep.
So this is one of those situations like, wow, what a little bitch. This is just so crazy to realize that he's also like his brother was behind the plate. Like it was Wilson batting, William catching. It's just one of those funny moments, but in the game itself as well, Wilson Contreras did, like, besides threatening to take one of them out the next game, he did also have a very hard intentional slide at second base that kind of clipped I think Bryce Terang. The next at bat, which also started to bring up another conversation that's been happening in the baseball world for a while, which was the Manny Machado sliding into Dustin Pedroia, potentially ending Dustin Pedroia's career early. And so it's just very interesting that the Saves fan base that's still mad at Manny is now kind of defending the player who may or may not have done something very similar.
Right. So there's like a history there of, one of these players being a hothead, for lack of a better term. But you know what? This is refreshing. I'm so tired of the good old boys club. Oh, we're just going to get along to get along. I'm going to go, an example, I'm going to go to play in Los Angeles and I'm going to go on Mookie Betts podcast 5 hours before I'm, playing against somebody. I'm sorry. And that is cool. Like, I'm not going to lie. I listen to Mookie Betts podcast. It is cool to see him interview opposing players. That being said, I enjoyed this back and forth because it shows that there is a passion for the game. I enjoyed the chirping in the clubhouse, the back and forth, using the media as a conduit for this sort of...
For this, like, beef?
And I think that, again, we're talking about it. It was a storyline all week online. Like, that to me is fun, especially when, you are a fan of baseball teams that are absolutely imploding and choking right now. It is cool to see some of this beef happening.
Right.
And for me, as a Mets fan, the only beef that we've had in the last few years has been internal. Jeff McNeil, Francisco Lindor, made up beef between Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor. And so it's cool to see opposing teams be like, you know what? I fucking hate playing you. I think you're an asshole. And I'm gonna get down and dirty with you.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you you're an asshole.
And I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I enjoy that. And I look at some of the greatest rivalries in baseball. Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Phillies has always been a strong rivalry. Dodgers, Astros has been, since the scandal, a very strong rivalry. And I'm like, we need more of this. Like, this just adds juice to the sport. It, again, in a sport that is as much about storylines over the course of 6 months as it is what happens during a 9-inning game every single day. It just adds to the excitement.
Right.
And it wasn't the only fight that happened this week.
But going back to this fight still,
Yeah.
it did add a lot of tension because this was Monday, the first game of the series. It
Yes.
added a lot of tension
Yes.
to the next game.
And good.
Jacob Mizorowski
Yes.
is on the mound.
Yes.
And Jacob Mizorowski is known for throwing very hard, very fast
Yep.
pitches.
Yep.
So it became a thing of, is he going to hit him? And is Wilson Contreras going to charge the mound where like the 6'8" dude is going to stare him down? So it added tension there. I did mention Manny Machado a little bit, but Manny Machado in a previous series was Dodgers versus Red Sox. Again, Red Sox just keep losing. He also kicked the ball away during that game. I think it was unintentional. A lot of fans saying it was intentional. So you see a lot of hate directed towards Manny Machado again from fans, Padres fans trying to defend him. So I think he's arguably one of the most controversial and defensive active players. But I saw something interesting where a lot of people were saying that Wilson Contreras is actually the person that everyone thinks Manny Machado is.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Going back to the Dustin Pedroia thing, if you actually watch it, I think his foot clipped the base, which kind of shot it up from the momentum, which clipped Pedroia's like knee, and then he even got up and tried to catch him when he saw him fall. Pedroia himself says he doesn't hold any ill will, but then if you compare the clip to what happened Monday night, where he intentionally slid with his leg up to actually clip the player, it's just very much one of those moments of like, has he kind of slid by?
Yeah, kind of under the radar.
Yeah. But is this actually the hothead that everyone thinks another player is?
This reminds me of Mets fans. If you remember Chase Utley, former Philly, ended his career on the Dodgers. Chase Utley, Ruben Tejada, 2015 NLCS, ended Ruben Tejada's career in that moment, based on a slide into second base. Granted, I think that was a fuel that got Mets to the World Series that year, but it very much now. And I hated Chase Utley, but like there is something to be said for a player who's just scrappy. I also wonder part of the reason is like they can't remember if he's Wilson or William, so that's extremely confusing.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Wilmer Flores, Mets legend, had brothers who were younger than him. Also played baseball. I don't think they ever met. No, I think one of them at least is a professional baseball player. Wilmer Flores' brother's name is Wilmer. His name is Wilmer Flores. Spelled the same. Wilmer's dad's name is Wilmer Flores. Wilmer's younger brother is also named Wilmer Flores. So when they're talking about Wilmer Flores and his brother Wilmer and his other brother Wilmer, and it's like, is it instead of like William Jr., is it, I mean, I guess they do first, second, third, but it's like William A, William B, William, like very weird. But to each their own. Wilmer, and Wilmer.
All right. The other fight.
Fun fact. Hold on. This is lore. Dana and I used to really follow Wilmer Flores very closely because he was just a fun guy. And one winter, one off season, he used to be a very active Instagram poster. We were like, oh my God, Wilmer found a girl. Like he found a woman, but she's very mature. And like, so there were pictures of Wilmer and this woman who we presumed he was dating, like in very intimate positions at parties. And like, his hand is like touching her in places that you would think they were intimate in some way. And we're like, wow, I mean, good for him. Wilmer like got a cougar. Yeah, it turned out that was his mom.
Oh.
And so that really, I think, turned Dana and I off from being Wilmer fans because we're like, that's a weird relationship and kind of creepy. So just some fun Wilmer Flores lore. And Dana, I know you're laughing right now as you're listening to this, but yeah, that was a fun Wilmer fact. Anyway, we can move on.
Okay.
I'm getting way too niche right now.
Right. So this fight is even better.
Okay.
Because this was an actual
fight. There was shoving involved.
My favorite. I love a good punch drunk. So now we're going to Tuesday. The Braves Atlanta Braves are playing at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Exactly. Yep. Put some respect on the Anaheim of it all.
And a fight breaks out between Jorge Soler of the Angels
Mm-hmm.
and Reynaldo Lopez of the Braves.
Yep.
What happened was, Jorge Soler has always been someone that hits really well off of Reynaldo Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
He actually hit a home run off of him earlier in the game. And then Jorge Soler gets hit by pitches.
Mm-hmm.
He goes around, and then he goes to Soler, what was... No, he didn't get hit. He did not get hit. It was a very bad... Well, did he get hit? He did get hit one. No, he got hit next at bat.
Mm-hmm.
There was another ball thrown at him that was very close to him.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he was kind of like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
What is going on? And then Lopez then hit it, man. Then hit it, essentially. And Soler charges them out, and they start swinging. Soler, wow. So, they start swinging. Soler, Lopez still has the ball. Mind you, he still has the ball in his hand.
Right.
So he slams the ball into Soler's face, and when they're trading blows, Walt Weiss from the manager of the Braves charges and tackles, football tackles Soler to get him down. Austin Riley's running in. He's kind of falls to the ground. Ronald Acuna Jr., you see him running up to the back. He's flipping his cap around to get scrappy.
He's ready.
Everyone's ready, from both the Angels bench, from the Braves bench. They're all just charging each other, trying to keep the two separated.
Yeah.
And then, there's Mike Trout holding Lopez back. Ozzy Albies is having the time of his life.
Yes. This was a fun fight to watch.
This was a fun fight. Yeah. And then as soon as the fight's all night is over, they zoom out, and then you see the bullpen single file lining.
Stay in a straight line, boys.
There's this one guy I think with the Angels, because he wasn't in red.
Mm-hmm.
Old man, just jogging. Everyone is laughing him. It was beautiful. This was such a fun fight to watch. And I know John Boy Media has done a breakdown. Other people have done clips of breaking down what each thing that happened.
Yeah. And
incredible.
And again, nobody was hurt.
Mm-mm.
It was all in good fun. Yes, there were suspensions that were handed out, and there's always going to be suspensions. It's always going to be appealed down to a smaller number of games missed. But again, that is part of the baseball is inherently entertainment before it is sports, truly. And so I think that made what was both instances here, made what was a very dull Tuesday in April exciting and something that we were talking about all week long, and gave some really interesting action and value to a Braves and an Angels series. Talked about two teams who have I don't
think they have any history, really.
No history together.
The two players themselves. I do know Soler also used to play for the Braves.
Yes.
Which is why when Walt Weiss tapped him, he didn't see anything wrong with that.
Right.
He saw it.
Right.
Weiss.
Yes. Protective dad moment. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just such fun action to watch. I think it's also interesting, actually, that I think part of me is is this the year of the Angels? They've already had two very iconic photographic moments.
They've dominated the headlines so far this season. It's very interesting.
And then they've been playing well on top of that.
Yes.
But also, it's also interesting to see that the Angels have also been getting hit by pitch a lot.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, especially, getting hit twice during the series with the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think there was a lot of frustration starting to bubble over across the series that they've been playing.
Yep.
And it just reached that point where we are not dealing with getting hit anymore.
Correct. That's the fight I would have loved to see from the Mets years ago when they led the league for 2 seasons in a row and getting hit by pitches. And so they were just well, this sucks. Eeyore, and moving on with their life. So good for the Angels. I am also first-year manager, Kurt Suzuki. Loved him as a player. I want him to be successful. And so really enjoying what I see. The key for them is going to be sustaining this for 5 more months. No small feat. And Mike Trout remaining healthy for the next 5 months. Because again, I viciously mocked someone in our fantasy league for drafting Mike Trout. And I look like a fool, Dana. I look like a fool because he has been paying off since the first series of the season.
Like, is vintage Mike?
Vintage, is he back?
Is he back?
And a younger core around him.
Yes. They're
So
all very talented.
We will see.
This might, part of me's like, this might be the year where they show.
Could be.
Like, yes, we have issues with Art and Marina.
Yeah.
But this could be our year.
And also, there's an opening for them if the Astros continue to be inconsistent. Yeah. The Rangers and the Mariners continue to play below the quality of play that they're used to. Neither team is doing well right now. And so I think there is an opening here for both the Angels and the A's to actually sneakily win the division in what could very well be an unexpected off year for the Astros and the Mariners. I think if the poor play in Seattle and Houston continues, I think Anaheim and Sacramento Asterix have a chance to do something pretty fun.
Right.
We shall see.
It'll definitely be interesting. And like, I think that's also one of the fun parts about baseball is just you never really know in the other divisions who's going to come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking about coming up on top,
we
had a repeat of the World Series this week as well.
Lame.
Where Dodgers played the Blue Jays at Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Except this time around, the entire Blue Jays team was either on the IL or really, really sick. Like, we're talking like throwing up levels of sick.
Yeah.
Like Lauer, Scherzer, they're all like, yeah, we're not playing 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone was, truthfully.
Yeah.
So the first game was just the Dodgers blowout.
Yep.
I think you did see some comments online talking about why are they stealing in a game where you're already up 10 but I think it's also very petty of Dave Roberts to have Mickey Rojas be the positional player who kind of pitches near the end of the game.
Yeah.
Considering that he's the one who really kind of ruined the Toronto's chance of winning Game 7.
Yep.
They also had a couple of other heated moments during the game. Second game was a bit closer, and Blue Jays finally pulled off the win to close the series.
Mm-hmm.
But John Schneider got ejected during Game 2. That actually would have been the iconic manager of the day.
Yeah.
Image with John Schneider red for his unfair calls. Had he kind of stole his thunder a little bit. And then during Game 3, which also generated a lot of discourse online, was George Springer asking why is Ohtani taking all this time to warm up?
Yeah.
And so you're getting this conversation online of says after that game, like Dave was like, well, Ohtani's a special man. He needs to give him special considerations. And so people are like, but why?
Right.
He already has a role named after him. Why is it fair to give him extra time to prep in between innings to warm up?
I agree.
When on days he hits.
I agree.
When other people don't get that same time. They have catchers. They have to suit up. They don't get extra time.
Mm-hmm.
The National League used to have pitchers being required to hit all the way up to like 2022.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these rules were not in play.
Yeah.
So why is he essentially getting these favors? If you want to, for lack of a better term.
I think we all know why.
Yeah.
I do think ultimately, if he is such a special player, and he is, I'm not denying that. Generational talent, probably going to be one of the best players ever to play the game. Then let him be special and let him not get all of these special rules, exceptions, extra time. I think ultimately that is what rubs folks the wrong way. Like, no doubt what he's doing is unique. Being a two-way player inherently is so rare and so special.
And being a two-way player
And
he is a very good starting pitcher.
Exactly.
And he is like an exceptional designated hitter.
Yep. I agree. So you know what? They've already made a rule for him. All of this like special time, though, I think that does fly in the face in terms of what baseball is about. Mm-hmm. And I think I get why the opposition is mad, but
Mhm.
ultimately, very little here is going to change.
Right.
Baseball needs Otani. They
Mhm.
need their star international player.
Right.
The revenue coming from Japan, and as a result of the Japanese fans and media investment,
Right.
is tremendous, and I think they have realized that. And so, as long as Otani is an active Major League Baseball player, he's going to continue to get special exceptions.
Right. I think what just upsets people more than anything else is like you're always talking about how exceptional of a player he is. Then let him play and just with the same rules as everyone
Yes,
else to prove that you're
let us see how
genuinely
great.
exceptional you are.
Exactly.
The thing is, if you're struggling to both pitch and hit during the same game, then just don't have him do both in the same
Correct.
game. Does it really your lineup is that stacked already? Do you necessarily need Otani to play 162 games a year?
No.
No. You can probably have him hit 140 since he'll probably be pitching 20.
Yeah.
And you'll still get your over 100 wins.
There you go. Totally fine. That, to me, that's the easiest solution. Okay, you're pitching, then you can't hit.
Because if you're going to need that extra time to warm up, that also ends up affecting your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this extra time until you feel like you're ready to finally pitch again.
It's been a while since we've poured on Otani, so I think we were due for a monthly event session.
Because I think in general, I will say, despite how much we dislike the Dodgers, I do think overall we're still relatively fair.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. Yes, we try to be as objective as possible. And I do think that ultimately he's baseball's star, and when you are a star in baseball, you are protected.
Yeah.
And he will continue to be protected. We saw what happened with the gambling scandal. We don't need to unwrap that, but he will be protected, and there will be a fall man.
I'm putting my tinfoil hat on.
It's on.
This is one where I do wear a tinfoil hat. I don't think you'll ever convince me otherwise for this one thing.
No, I agree. These are allegations and do not reflect. Well, they reflect what I think and say, but they are allegations. Everything is alleged and speculation until proven otherwise. We are not available for cease and desist because we can't afford a lawyer, so it's fine. We're not monetized yet, so. Anyway, moving on. What else has happened in this?
To talk about
it is time.
Really poorly performing team.
Let's talk about it.
Let's start with the Astros. Man.
Yeah.
So
ugly baseball. Ugly.
Are back to being injured again.
Yeah.
So here we go again. Got swept by the Rockies. Hunter Brown's down. Christian Javier's down. Jake Meyer's down. Correa was sick for a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend is Astros versus Seattle, which is essentially going to be a shutoff. Going into the series, Astros were first in scoring runs and 30th in last place in allowing runs, while Seattle was last place in scoring runs. So it's just going to be an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
Last night's game, Imai couldn't even last an inning, a singular inning. This is the first game out of 13 consecutive games that they're going to be playing. And our bullpen is already getting taxed. Imai actually went back to Houston this morning. So this is the third starter out of our rotation that has gone back to Houston early.
And can we talk about Imai? Because I don't think there was anybody who was more excited than you and I about his signing with Houston and the potential that he had.
Yes.
And we also recognize at the same time there is a transition going from pitching in Japan to pitching in the United States. That said, it has been excuse after excuse after excuse with Imai as to why he's performing so poorly. Yesterday it was, well, the mound was much harder and compact than I am used to. There was also something I think about the climate when it was a beautiful day in Seattle, very mild, agreeable conditions to be pitching in. And so I get there's a transition, but I don't want to hear the excuses.
I would say first game, understandable.
Nerves. We were there.
First game,
Nerves.
understandable. But now we're on game 3.
Yeah.
And we're reaching a point where, like, either there's something going on with the pitching staff and never making sure he's properly transitioning, or is he just looking for any other reason other than to say, yeah, I just was off my game today. Sorry. I don't know, but I think what's really killing us more than anything else right now are the number of walks we're giving away for free.
Yes.
The number of walks we're giving away for free. Seattle had one singular hit, and the 3 runs scored. It was all through walks.
Yep. The complete lack of command and control in the game. Sloppy pitching. And on top of that, very, very sloppy execution how they use ABS.
We were out challenges before the second inning ended.
Yep.
There were several bad calls. One was against Altuve. I think another one might have been against Paredes, where we had no chance of challenge. No, and one was also against Vasquez, where we had no challenges to use.
Yeah. And
those were very much challenges that would have shifted the tide of the game completely. Where instead of like a strikeout and a caught stealing for Joey Luperfido, it would have been a walk, and we would have had 2 runners on base and no outs instead of 2.
It hasn't been good. I'm actually looking right now at stats. Most successful overturns for teams who are batting and most successful overturns for teams on the fielding side. I was actually expecting the Astros to be at the very bottom. They have a 4% challenge rate. To give you some context, the highest team, Minnesota, shockingly. The Twins have an 8.6%. I'm sorry. The challenge rate is the amount of pitches they've challenged. The Minnesota Twins lead the league in terms of batting for challenges won. They won 52%. The Astros have won 50%, but they're a little bit lower down because they've only challenged 12 calls. They've won 36% of them. So they by far have the lowest on the fielding side. Again, because you have pitchers who are just scratching their forehead for no reason. Or it's not good.
Also, one of them was blown yesterday by Christian Vasquez. He also challenged the wrong one. Had he challenged the previous one, we would have kept it. But he challenged the wrong one just to try to buy something.
Yes. Yeah. It's not. Things have not been good. No. Pitching looks really bad. We are probably about to be down 3 of our top 3 starting pitchers, which is not good. For what I think will be a prolonged period of time. These are not going to be 2-week long injuries and then they're back. And in absence of starting pitching, you need your bullpen to come in clutch. The Houston Astros bullpen has not been strong. And how can you blame them? They've been called on to pitch the bulk of the innings this season. Starters are not getting deep into games outside of Lance McCullers Jr., of all people.
No, but still, at the same time, you cannot have a bullpen pitch more than your starting pitching. That completely defeats the purpose of having a bullpen.
Yep. I agree.
But also, I guess, since we're getting a little frustrated here, thought this was really funny. So yesterday at T-Mobile Park, the Mariners unveil a statue dedicated to Ichiro. Who I will say is like, despite being a Mariner, I do really love him as a player.
And he is so funny.
Much fun.
Yeah.
Sidebar, I do unfortunately enjoy some of the ads that the Mariners put out. One of them was a Bryson Miller one where they're doing he's like, oh, what's everyone doing? And they're like, goat yoga. So he goes, goat yoga. He's like, where are the goats? And then Julio Rodriguez goes, not goats, goat. And you see Ichiro Suzuki walk in and he goes, let's begin. So great guy. Son,
that's awesome.
Humor.
Awesome.
But that was really funny that during the unveil, his bat broke.
Like, right away. And good on him for and his personality. He's been like one of the funniest guys to interview over the years. He's over there like kind of in disbelief, kind of laughing, like really taking it in stride. My favorite part was they then zoomed over to the artist of the statue and he's like grabbing his head. He's like in complete shock because how does that happen based on just like removing the curtain or the cloth from it just like completely
fell over.
I mean, wild, but again, it was just a really funny storyline. and just kind of also reminds folks like he was a transformational player for Major League Baseball. And he meant a lot to so many people and so many fans growing up, but just a really great guy, someone who I would love to. I mean, part of me says I would love to see him become a manager, but I'm like, I also don't necessarily want that for you, because it's a really hard sport to, as a former player, go back in and have success on a manager level. And not vilify yourself to fan bases based on a lineup you're putting out.
Again, we're Astros fans. This is a division rival. I love him. And I think he's probably considered one of the most well-loved players.
Yeah.
Like both current and historic. I don't think you'll find someone who goes, ew, I hate Ichiro Suzuki. Like that just doesn't happen.
No, agree.
And putting that pressure back on him as a manager, I think that in a way could also potentially ruin the legacy that he established.
He's better off as just being a great ambassador for both the city, the organization, and baseball in general. And it was great to see him kind of back in the spotlight this week, also going into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame recently. And so just a great guy, funny guy, but what a funny moment for sure. That was that lit the Twitter streets on fire this week, and there were a lot of funny memes and things that had followed since. Speaking about things that are not funny, is the New York Mets.
Oh,
Lord. After winning 3 of 4 in San Francisco, coming back to Citi Field on Tuesday, squeaking out a win against the D-backs, you were thinking like, hey, Mets have won 4 straight. We are so back. Season is back. We're back on the tracks. Nah. They then lost the remaining 2 games to the Diamondbacks. They've lost the first 2 games as of this recording on Saturday to the Sacramento Athletics in pretty ugly fashion.
They lost today 6-11.
6-11, 6-11. Doesn't matter. They lost. Also, Juan Soto out IL, could be out for, we hope, not a long time, but like we spoke about last week, this could be a 1-week injury. This could be a 2-month injury. And so just very, very frustrating. And ultimately, things are not about to get easier here. The Dodgers are about to fly out to LA to play the Dodgers. Great team. They're then going to go to Chicago. I'll be there. You better play. You better play well, Mets, because I'm going to see you next weekend in Chicago. Shout out.
Going to Wrigley just for you.
Yes, I'm going just for you. Shout out to Crystal, who asked me to bring a Mets jersey, an extra one, so she can wear it. What a good friend to be in the spirit of New York Mets baseball with me. But I'm officially worried about the New York Mets. I knew things were bad when yesterday's lineup, and I had sworn up and down this was going to be one of my New Year's baseball resolutions, not to panic about Mets lineups every single day. Well, when Jared Young is batting third, we are in serious trouble. And granted, Jared Young has somehow been one of the Mets' best hitters so far this year. But that, to me, we are back in Panic City time, because we have one of the highest payrolls in all of sports. We have superstars. We have what should be and could be a solid pitching rotation. And yet we are going nowhere fast. And so I am really, really nervous about where the Mets are going. Granted, it's early. We are still in the era where we can say it is a small sample size, but that small sample size is getting bigger real fast.
And the problem really is once you do get to the end of the season, it's September, you're trying to calculate who's going to be winning the division, who's going to be a wild card game. These games in April, these games in March, they still count.
They matter.
They do matter.
They matter.
So when your team is playing terrible in April, like, yeah, okay. Again, I know they'll pick it up in the summer, but if you're vying for a wild card spot and it's a 1-game difference, that 1 game in April could have been the difference.
Yes, I agree. As we're sitting here today, it's the 4th place New York Mets and the 4th place Houston Astros.
Woo, woo.
So let's hope that we are in a better spot next time we chat about this. But speaking of being in a better spot, there is no one who's in a worse spot, in my view, than Tony Vitello, manager of the San Francisco Giants. I want to say this is the third week in a row we're talking about Tony Vitello. And you're probably wondering who the hell Tony is. And you're probably wondering who he was when we spoke about him recently. Well, Tony is the manager of the last place 6-8 San Francisco Giants. Yeah, Tony, I think Tony is not meant for baseball. And I'll tell you why.
Right.
Tony is brutally honest. He cannot tell a lie, not even a white lie. And so I propose, now he might be a little too young, but I would love for Tony to run for Congress because I want my politicians to be as honest as Tony Vitello is as the San Francisco Giants manager, because man is out there at a press conference earlier in the week going, yeah, we've had like 3 clubhouse incidents in the first 10 games of the year.
No, you never told the press that. Yes, we already see that everyone is seeing that the Giants are playing bad. Do not tell us you're having clubhouse issues when the season just started.
Correct.
We saw a very public one already where Matt Chapman was yelling at Casey Smith to catch the fucking ball. We already saw that. You do not need to tell us, oh, you haven't seen it all. There's been more. Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
The season just started.
I think that is it's juvenile. It trivializes it to say it's such a rookie move. I don't know if they haven't given him media training or what. And again, in any other profession, I would admire the transparency.
Right.
But you're going to lose the respect of the players if you continue to go out there and air the dirty laundry, because then ultimately what's going to happen? The media is going to go, they're not going to trust you, and the media is going to go into the locker room when they have access to the players and say, hey, Tony said you guys had some issues. Who was at the center of it? What happened? Give me the details. And your job as a manager is to insulate the players from having to answer questions like that. Exactly. So I get you could sit there, you could take accountability, all the things, but ultimately don't tell on yourself. Don't sit there and say, oh, we're having issues. Oh, we are having problems. Now I get, we can assume you're having problems. You're playing horribly, but ultimately you can choose. There's a menu of things when you go through media training that they say, hey, when you're in a losing streak or in a slump, these 5 things will satisfy the media and get them off your back for a few days before they start asking additional questions. You don't need to go out there and saying, yeah, our clubhouse dynamic sucks. We're having issues.
Yeah. I just wondered, does this go back to him having made the jump from being a collegiate manager to a Major League Baseball manager without having to spend years as a bench coach for these professional teams?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming when you're coaching for a college team, you don't have the same media.
Oh, correct.
And you're also playing with college students who appreciate and need that bluntness in order to play well.
I agree.
You're not coaching people who are in their 20s and their 30s. Yep. These are grown-ass men with families.
Yes.
They don't need you to be their buddy.
Yeah.
They need you to manage and be a leader.
As much as I did not want this to be true, and I want to see sort of more of a pipeline from college baseball to MLB, I think you're right that him not having served as a bench coach, like a deputy manager, for lack of a better term, and picking up on how to deal with the media and the personalities and just the marathon that 162 games is, I think that is really detrimental to both him and the Giants. And I hope they get it right, because the candor is nice, and I think he does have a chance to be a really good manager in this league. But he's just compounding the issues that they currently already have, and I think I think it's going to come back to bite them. Yeah.
I mean, that's one team where we can talk about. But there's another team that I think we also always rank dead last.
Yes.
And that's the Texas Rangers.
Sidebar.
Why are they considered the Texas team? Why are we are a Texas team too? Why are they not the Arlington Rangers? I even give them the Dallas Fort Worth Rangers.
Yeah.
Why are they the Texas Rangers? Anyways, they released their City Connect earlier this week, where it says Tejas across the chest in Texas. And
sick looking jersey.
The racist Texas Rangers fans came out in row.
Yep, they sure did.
but they decided to go with Tejas this year to recognize the Mexican heritage of Texas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is very ironic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Sage.
Sagey.
This is very ironic considering that on their first home opener game, there was a calculated statistical chance, 1% chance of running a lineup that was all white. And the Texas Rangers said, hold your horses because we are going to take it.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it. So then they've also had some controversy earlier in the offseason when they also put up the racist statue of the segregationist.
Yeah. Hey, I have a great idea. Let's take that racist statue that was removed from an airport a few years ago, is currently sitting in some storage facility in fucking McAllen, Texas, and let's put it up inside our new stadium. Great idea, boys.
So not only does this team not give their female staff any paid time off maternity leave, not only is this the only ML team that never recognizes a Pride Night, they also have a segregationist statue inside their park, and they went, you know what? You're right. Let us run that all-white team that we have deep in our blood.
Yeah, and then have the nerve
have to say nervous say Tejas on our chests.
Yeah, Tejas. I guarantee you 90% of the locker room's like, Tejas? Tejas?
Tejas. At least it's not Tejas this time, right?
That was almost better.
Honestly, I'd rather have a shirt that says titties.
You know, they probably wouldn't mind that either. Oh boy. Robyn, that was already wild in and of itself, but let's get into our wild pitches of the week. And you've got a good one. Let's lead us off.
Okay. I think the thrusting celly needs to go. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a celly is essentially what a player does if they like make a really incredible like hit, if they hit a home run. A lot of like players and teams have their own like go-to celebration that they do. For some reason this year, a lot of the boys decided, you know what, we're just going to like thrust the air. We're just going to like put our hands up and like, oh, you know, which is fine. Maybe it's boys being boys. However, I think it is the cringiest thing ever. I know the Astros are doing it and it's ew, but have you seen the Red Sox? That is absolutely foul. Reason why I even made this my wild pitch of the week was in a replay, I saw Garrett Crochet in the dugout, hands behind his head like this, making that like very like that face looks thrusting in the air. Disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
And this is nothing to do with like, don't let your kids see this. This is very much, I am getting secondhand embarrassed watching you, a grown-ass man, make these movements. Jaron Duran doing it on the pitch, on the base. Disgusting. Can we just bring back the fun?
Bring back the damn high five. Bring back the salt and pepper shaker. Come on.
Like, bring back the sword slash. I've seen like the ones where they kind of draw their guns, kind of like, yeah, sort of thing.
Yep.
Even last year, like I said, we are fair to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Even last year, the Dodgers had one that I really liked watching because it's so funny. They Shohei Ohtani had a perfume like commercial pose. So whenever they made big, they started like doing like, frame themselves like or like posing.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
It's a fun.
Yes.
Bring back the whimsy.
Yes.
I think that's what we're missing. Is we're also missing some of the whimsy.
Yeah, I agree. You heard it here first from Robyn. Less thrusting in 2026.
Unless you're in the bedroom.
Well, correct. So, it's hard to. I should have gone first. It's hard to segue that because mine is so lame in comparison. I almost feel silly saying it. To me, the modern baseball game is too long. Now, am I saying this because both of my teams are absolutely awful right now, and I want there to be shorter games so that they can preserve their pitching staff? Probably. But you know what feels right to me? An 8-inning game.
Okay.
That way, when starters, because back in the day, back during your father's baseball experience, right? A a starting pitcher would go 7-8 innings and nobody would blink.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, we're lucky if they go 5, so then your bullpen has to pitch the next 4. By the time we get to the 7th or 8th inning, it is a shutoff. You are having guys just, let's hope they don't give up 9 runs this inning because that's what they normally do. Like, the games are too long for the quality of pitching that we're getting.
Yes.
And so, you know what? Just cut 1 inning off. Let your closer pitch the 8th. Let your setup guy pitch the 7th. That way you really only need to worry about the 6th inning being that sort of like inning influx.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, this is purely emotional.
Yeah.
This is purely based on the way in which my 2 teams are currently pitching. And so I reserve the right to change this. And I enjoy a long baseball game. You know that, Robyn. Like, I enjoy being at the ballpark. Ideally more than 3 hours. Sometimes I feel like the games with pitch clock are a little too fast, but right now bring that down to 8, or just do it for the Mets and the Astros. That's it. Just make a little exception for them. Mets and Astros, you only got to do 8. That way you can not tax your bullpen, because I'm sick of watching bad baseball.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, ooh, this is a really hot take, because I don't think anyone would agree to bring it from 9 to 8 to have less baseball, but I agree. I think in the sense of like, I cannot go another game of watching Robyn Munoz and setting this game on fire. I cannot go another game of watching fucking terror. I don't know his name in JP. And completely blow a very close game. He got defeated again because he did his job. He did his bulk.
He'll be back.
Innings, but he'll be back.
He'll be back.
No, I think I'm with you, mostly because our starting pitchers are unable to go even 5.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, yeah, this is definitely, now that I hear your reason, yeah, for our very bad teams, I agree, but...
Hey, let us know your thoughts. badpitchenergy@gmail.com or badpitchenergy on Twitter, where you can let us know. On Instagram, let us know.
We have a TikTok.
We do have a TikTok. We don't... I haven't. So my mom, I think, so this is actually kind of funny. My mom thinks our podcast is what we post on Instagram. And so I told her before, I was like, oh yeah, we're recording another episode tonight. And she goes, oh, have you guys not recorded for a few weeks? I was like, no, we record every week. And she's like, oh, I haven't seen it on Instagram. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really bad at social media. So I'm bad at promoting the show on IG, but actually our listeners are coming from Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, iHeartRadio. Again, still at the iHeartRadio following. Very interesting, but thank you for listening on iHeartRadio. But yes, I don't know where I was going with this. We do interact. We're more active on Twitter. So please follow our Twitter. Don't hold anything we say on there against us, because we are sometimes too candid. But yes.
We occasionally will get into little fights with someone just because I have had to hold back several times.
Yeah.
I have had to hold back so many times. Instead of responding, I click the 3 dots and I go mute, or I hit the 3 dots and I go block. Your stupidity will not get me.
You're doing good, Robyn. You're doing good. You're still on probation, and then maybe I should be too, but you're doing pretty good. I'm proud of you.
Maybe we should put you on probation too.
Wow.
With the podcast host for like St. Louis.
Well, she deserved it. That wasn't even, my take was not even remotely, she was in her feelings that the Mets announcer said that St. Louis is a shithole. And St. Louis, people who live in St. Louis will tell you it's a shithole. Like, it is one of the most unsafe cities in America, in a red state, by the way. But hey, let's not get political now. But yeah, let's behave on Twitter. Let's behave on Twitter /X. Robyn's been good. I've been trying to carry the mantle for, getting a little beef with folks, but it's all in good fun. I even gave her a nice warm hug through a tweet at the end after she made up a story about, allegedly, it's fine. It's fine. We're completely off the rails. And so it is now time for us to conclude this episode of Bad Pitch Energy. Thank you as always for listening. And
we'll catch y'all next time.
We will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.